We sippin' slow, post some more. Yeah, we just sippin' slow. Lean, crush. We sippin' slow.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for sipping it slow. If you're new here, thank you for coming through here. To all my main supporters, I appreciate y'all and I love you. Okay? I hope y'all had a great holiday. Today, I'm here to share my journey of juggling life as a part time worker. I work at a doctor's office and I work for DoorDash. Okay? On the side to tackle one of my most relentless challenges many of us face, okay, in this world, which is credit card interest. It hasn't been easy, but let me break it down step by step, the highs, the lows, and how I made it work, okay? First, let me give you some context. Working part time as a doctor's assistant is fulfilling, but comes with its limitations because I'm only part time. I get paid enough, but I don't want to work all my life and, away. So, you know, the paycheck ain't paychecking all the time, respectably, you know, but not enough to handle the growing interest on my credit cards. The bills kept piling up, and no matter how much I paid, it felt like I was running in circles. Because it's inflation time, and people don't realize that credit card interest rate goes up on them, and they're not paying attention. And especially if you're a person that's already in debt. If you're already in debt and you know debt well, you don't be paying attention. You don't even know nothing about no interest rates like that, or you don't really know how they work. Okay. The first pro of this job, it gave me stability. I had a steady schedule, and I got to learn skills that enrich me professionally. Um, you know, it's just fun. I love to help people. I love when uh the patients are in good standing and they feel better. So it's just great. The only con is that it was the capped income. Okay, so I only make a certain amount because I don't work that much. Okay, but that's what I wanted. That's what I ventured out for, is to get a part time job that's paying enough, but I didn't have to work all day. Okay, and yeah, I know you're saying you work in DoorDash too. You might as well get a full part time job. But one thing about DoorDash is that you can cut that off whenever you want to. So if you say I only want to do 2 orders, you can do 2 orders. So I just do enough to pay my interest rate and pay some to my investments. Okay. So every month I budget down to the cent. Yet those credit card statements always loom like stormy clouds. All right. So yes. So I wrote down what I was paying and how much I was paying, because I also realized that I was spending more than what I had. Okay. And my dude helped me do that because he good at saving. But he was like, you got to write down everything that you owe so you'll know what you owe. Because I like to pay, I like to party and hang out. Like, not as far as clubs or bars or nothing, but I like to go and get food all the time, and just being on the beach, and just eating at the beach make me feel like really good. So I was like, man, I gotta realize that I'm not even making enough to do this stuff. So I had to write it down. Then came the decision to add DoorDash to my plate after the doctor's office. At first, I was hesitant. Working 2 jobs isn't just physically demanding, it's mentally taxing. But I knew the flexibility of DoorDash could be the game changer. Okay. The pro here was freedom. Hey, you got money, you got freedom. If you ain't in debt and you can move around, you can feel like you got freedom. It's all about freedom. I could choose when to work. The con, gas prices were wear and tear on my cars, occasionally frustration with tricky customers or long waiting restaurants. Sometimes they'll call you and say, um, do they have this and extra this? And they don't know that they pay you a little bit. So everything you waiting around for, um, as far as they order, you have to take off time, and so your payment per hour is not as good if you have a customer that keep calling you or whatever. Sometimes I didn't answer them, okay, because I didn't have time for that. Hey, y'all get the order when I get there, because it take a long time to get these orders, and sometimes they be far away, you know. And like I said, it's the wear and tear on your car, and sometimes you don't get that much. And a lot of times on DoorDash, when they say you go now, it they say you get the best orders, but you still get $3 per order. So sometimes it's not good. But when you first start DoorDash, it seems like it's popping, like And then another con of this is, um, some customers act like they don't get their food. So they got to investigate it. So sometimes it kicks you off because they want to investigate if you stole their food. And you've been working for DoorDash for years, okay? Because I had worked for DoorDash before, a couple years before, and then I stopped working when I moved to Florida, and now I'm working it again. So it just frustrating because in Florida, I guess it's a lot of fraud here. So they be saying they don't get their order when they did. Okay, so I can understand when people walking up on people, and saying, you said you didn't get your order, but you eating it right now, because it messes up people's job when people play like that. Okay. Balancing both jobs required discipline. My mornings were dedicated to assisting doctors, ensuring patients got the care they needed, but my evening was driving DoorDash, navigating the streets, delivering meals. The pro, I started seeing real progress with my finance. So this is one of the pros. I started seeing that I was able to pay off my credit card stuff, um, and still have some money left over. It's just I had to figure out what I'm going to do with the leftover. It may be like $5 or $10 though, so it wasn't a whole lot extra that I was getting, but I still was trying to put it up. Okay. Sleep became a luxury and weekends disappeared into the grind. Paying off my credit cards was a step by step process. Every dollar from DoorDash went straight to the principal balance. Okay. And if you don't know what the principal balance is on your credit card, it's the actual amount that you owe instead of the interest. Okay. I learned to prioritize, tackling the credit cards with the highest interest rates first. So you want to get the ones with the highest interest rates first, because them is the ones that they say you have $6,000 that you owe. I'm just giving an example, and then you end up paying 18,000 because you paying just the interest on the cards. You paying your monthly bill, but until you pay it for a while, um, you're not even going to touch the principal, which is the main balance that you owe. You just paying the interest rates. Okay. The pro was, the win of seeing those balances shrink. The con, watching my social life shrink just as fast. Okay, because when you working hard, you can't party and kick it how you want to. And I don't party like some people do. But my party is going out to eat, have a drink or two, and just be out on the beach, or going on vacation and see my kids or whatever. Um, I admit there were moments of doubt. Driving through bad weather or handling a rough day at the clinic let me wonder if it was worth it. But then I remembered to myself, freedom is waiting. Okay. And that freedom is waiting on the other side of that hustle. You got to do stuff that makes you uncomfortable. Like Uncle Larry said, sometimes you have to do stuff that make you uncomfortable. When you're too comfortable, you're not going to get nowhere. Okay? Delivery, each hour spent was a step closer to financial peace. One of the biggest lessons I learned was resourcefulness. I found apps to track my expenses, plan routines to maximize DoorDash earnings, and even packed meals to save on buying food, because when you in there DoorDash and you smelling that food, you be hungry. So I started packing me food so I can eat, snack on while I'm DoorDashing, so I won't spend none of these extra money on food. And if you busy and you got food in the car with you, you know, you don't spend money on food. You don't have time to say I'm hungry, really. So long as you snacking, you moving, and your money is calculating. Because I wouldn't stop door dashing until sometimes I get $100 per day. You know what I'm saying? I try to get $100 per day, not $100 a week, $100 a day. Okay. The pro was the newfound efficiency. The con, the constant planning could feel overwhelming. So you planning on your day out, you doing this, but it's just like I'm dedicating my whole life to this, okay? And it's just overwhelming sometimes. Today, I'm proud to say those credit card balances are no longer haunting me. They not all the way paid off, but I feel like I got freedom. I don't even have to do DoorDash no more if I don't want to, but I continue to because I want to pay myself like I was paying them. Okay. So, that's the trick. The companies know your worth. That's why they pay you for your time because they know your time is worth more than you know. You can get paid by your company and they because the companies is all about um getting money and finding people who gonna get you more money. And so we can get money for them, but we don't feel like we can get money for us. And that's the problem. We have to start putting our money into our own selves and stop making everybody else rich. Okay? My hard work paid off, but both literally and figuratively. I survived by prioritizing staying organized and refusing to let circumstances defeat me. Okay. And you have to do that. You have to um, be able to sit down, plan out, and not just be on a go. Because a lot of us is just on a go. We so overwhelmed, we just don't know what to do. We just working. And it wasn't designed. We are not supposed to be working to pay people. It's not even right. And a lot of these times, uh, if we paying 5,000 to 10,000, look on your credit card statement and you will see how long if you pay the minimum amount. I want all of y'all to do this today. Look on your statement of your credit card and look how long they have till you pay that off. Most of them is going to be over 10 years, even for five to $10,000. And if you owe $20,000, it's probably way longer if you pay just the minimum. Okay, so we got to stop being comfortable and get out here for at least a year and see how it changes our life by working an extra job. Uber Eats, Lyft, whatever you got to do, even a part-time job doing something, you know, to anyone in similar position. Know this, it's not easy, but it's possible. Balancing two jobs requires grit, like hustle, but the reward of financial freedom makes every struggle worthwhile rather. This journey taught me resilience, and for that I am grateful. Okay, so it taught me, okay, you can't let nothing stop you. You have to keep going. You either gonna get uncomfortable or you're gonna be in a debt for many, many years. And a lot of times we be so stressed, it makes us start looking old. It makes our skin dull. It makes us feel just so, useless. Because everybody on the outside see, oh, they doing all right. But inside, we don't know if the next check is going to be big enough to keep us from falling. Okay, so if anything happened to our employer or anything, everything is going to be going downhill. So we got to really look at ourselves and plan, and get a platform that we can, even YouTube. You can get a YouTube channel and just start talking about your complaining and what's going on in your life and why it's not working for you, and just start logging it. Even if you're not getting paid, it's still going to be like, I'm working on it. Even if you driving in your DoorDash and doing DoorDash, you could talk about what's going on in DoorDash and record it. It's free to record. So y'all gotta find hustles and get it together. And I was gonna say this. Okay, so say if you got $1,000 that you owe, which I know is probably gonna be more than this, y'all. Okay, so you have a whole bunch of credit cards and whatever, and you haven't been paying on them. And I said this in my last video. Sometimes you gotta pay um one credit card off to get the amount lower before you can pay the other ones, because it's either all gonna be late or just one of them gonna be late, or a couple of them. So sometimes you got to take from two credit cards and pay your balance on one. Just pay it off, just to pay it off. Because if you late, you're gonna be paying $50, $40 for the late charges, and etc. But if you just got one credit card or two credit card, all you got to do is deposit your whole check in there. So therefore, when you deposit that whole check in there, you don't even have to pay your monthly bill on that. So that's that. Say your credit card is $200. You paying all your money, your check in there. Say $1,000. You pay that $200, right? You got $800 left. But it's taking your interest rate down. If you put your whole credit card, no, your whole paycheck in there, it'll take your balance down a whole lot. If you put your whole card in there, and you just use the money that you need off the credit card, like for gas, food, little necessities in the store. You just keep it on there, but then you won't be late on your credit card. But it works out that you'll end up saving every time you put in there, because we always forget to pay our credit cards because we don't want to pay them. All right, we really don't forget them. We just don't want to pay them. But every time you do that, you put your whole paycheck in there, it'll actually start minimizing your credit card payment that you owe. Plus, it'll make your balance go down. So instead of putting it in your bank account where you're not paying your credit card, put it in your credit card and use that credit card. It's stuff like your rent and your lights. Well, you can do your lights off your credit card too. So anything you can use your credit card for, just put it all in the credit card. So then you won't be late for that card and you don't have to worry about paying that card. Okay? Which you really are paying that card. But you can take that money right out just so you won't be late. And then you just put that other money on the other credit card, leave that out too, whatever. But it'll work out. I'm telling you, you have to see it to believe it. Stop putting your money in your regular checking account and start putting it on your credit cards that you owe. So then you won't owe and you won't be late. And then you can just use all your money off them cards. And I promise you, you'll start saving. But you have to write down what you owe, how much you owe, or you will be in a deficit. I wasn't writing down what I owe. Okay. I was sitting there just paying the bills, and then I just wrote a list. And I'm like, damn, I don't even have enough money for this stuff. So then that's when I started, okay, well, I'm going to take my lowest credit cards that I don't have as much interest on, and I'm going to stop paying these two just to pay this one off real quick. And sometimes I don't recommend that you do that unless you have to. And you so overwhelmed with debt that you have to do that. And that's what I did. Honestly, I stopped paying two credit cards just to pay off one. And yeah, you'll be in a credit bureau if it's over 90 days. So you want to switch out credit cards. So this month you didn't pay this one. So next month you're gonna pay them too. And yeah, you're gonna have a little what you call it. But if you're paying chunks of them, your amount that you owe for 18 years is not going to be 18 years no more. Even with the late payments, okay? You still going to pay it off quicker. So just after this, just don't get in debt no more, y'all. Because this is a struggle for everybody. And I'm telling you, when I started paying one credit card off, so I stopped paying two credit cards just to pay a middle credit card. So this is the lowest, the middle, highest, and the highest. I started stop paying two credit cards, the lower credit cards, to pay that middle credit card and pay it off. Okay. So then now I got $65 extra that I can pay on other credit cards. So then I start paying the lower credit cards on time. And then I just kept paying it, kept paying it, and kept paying it. And then because I had like 11 cards, so I can switch them out. So next time I didn't pay two other credit cards, and then I tried to pay the highest one because it was like $90 that I had to pay a month. And so I started paying two other credit cards for 2 months just to pay chunks and chunks of that off. Okay. And then I end up paying it all off. And then I just kept rotating. Because you don't want to be more than 90 days late on your credit cards if you can. Okay? So I don't know if that's gonna work for y'all. Y'all do what y'all can, but if you don't have to be late, don't. Okay, just stop putting your um paycheck money in your regular savings account when you can pay your bill and use all that money. Even if you say if you put $1,000 on that credit card and you don't even put the money, say you owe $200 on the credit card, okay, and you put your $1,000 check in there, okay. Even if you spend all the whole thousand, it'll still say that you paid that 200. But we not trying to do that. We really trying to pay the 200, and then we paying the 800 um on our other bills and all whatever we can. But it still stop you from paying. I mean, being late on that credit card. If you get what I'm saying. I'm not really super great at explaining everything, but I'm just trying to break it down to make people in the simplest form to make people understand what I'm saying. Okay. So I hope this helps somebody. It's a struggle out here. Nobody wants to give their life to working full time. So I would suggest that you get something that you can go in and out whenever you get tired. And sometimes you'll be feeling like going hard and sometimes you won't. Because some days um the customers of DoorDash will make your life hell. And you just be like, oh, today ain't the day. Or you could just feel like today ain't the day. And you have the option to log off of DoorDash whenever you feel like it. And it's easy. And you can't care about what people say. Get your money, because the proof is an example. And once you get your weight up, people going all them laughing at you and people looking at you crazy because you did all this little stuff to get money. Let them laugh. Okay? Because in the end, we gonna win. All right? Y'all know I gotta say a rhyme. In the end, we gonna win. All right? So I love you all. I appreciate y'all. And make sure you're sipping it slow. All right.